it's Lynette with Charm Grammy Crochet. How are you doing today? Today is Friday. I don't know the date. It is not the 17th because that was last weekend. But I am doing the national hashtag OTC National Crochet Month Challenge update because, I haven't been able to do it on a daily basis. But I am going to update you. So let's talk. This is going to be a video of a lot of chatting and a little of other things. And so let's start with the obvious. Got my hair cut. If you're new here, you might not realize that I got my hair cut this morning. If you've been around a while, you're going to be like, whoa, Lynette, what the hell happened to your hair? So I will insert a picture right here, like right over this picture of my family, that shows what the haircut was supposed to look like. She did it, maybe an inch or two shorter than that. She said, it's going to be short. Now, my hair was way too long, and it was like past my shoulders, curling up here. And I didn't like that. I never wanted, I like it to be long enough that I can put it up in a bun, or not a bun, but a clip. Because it keeps my neck warm, but it really doesn't look good like that. I can never make it look good, and that was beyond looking good. So I broke down and went and got a haircut, and the style, as you'll see in that picture, it's supposed to like come down like this, which is the style that I like. No part, and be puffy up here, not flat. Well, it's supposed to be puffy like everywhere. And she said, you want it lower than your ears? I said, yes, because the hairstyle is supposed to come to like here. And it's to like here. So I feel like I need Rogaine for women to get my hair back. I told her lots of layers, but it's still like the whole overall length should be 2 inches longer. Whatever. It grows. It grows quicker than sometimes I like. It might not grow quick enough for me this time, but this is what I'm going to be for the next couple of weeks anyway. In 2 weeks, it'll be just the perfect length, and in 3 weeks, I'll be like, God dang, I need a haircut again. But I won't do it for 3 months because I just don't like to take the time to do it, to be honest. And sometimes this is what you get, so it is what it is. I haven't had like no hair on the sides of my head in so long. I was 20 or 25 probably the last time that my hair was this short. Well, anyway, so that's that. And just for some admin stuff, if you're new, thanks for coming. I hope you come back. Normally I don't discuss my hair, but it's a big change. If you're an old subscriber, one of my OGs, thanks for coming again and again and again. One of my long-term friends, I love you a lot, and appreciate you more than you know. So I do have a Facebook group page. I don't go on there very often. I really don't go on to Facebook. I do once in a while go in there. Thank goodness. Whoa, for my good friend. Whoa, accidents. For my good friend Trish from Mama Swift, because she monitors that for me. I just don't do social media. I don't do Facebook, I should say, as a general rule, since a long time. So once in a while I go in there, and then but Trish keeps up with it really, really well. I need to learn how to like do like giveaways or whatever in there and get involved in. I just don't take the time to do it on Facebook. Not anything to do with this. So like I should be more involved, and I apologize that I am not. It's not my thing. So I think I have a TikTok that my granddaughter put some things on for me once. I really don't know how to use TikTok. I scroll Oh yeah, I can scroll. I can do some major scrolling. I don't know how to do anything. I can hit the little thumbs up or the heart or whatever it is. And that's my extent of how to do those. So I don't know how to read the comments. I don't know how to, like, if you catch the second part of one of those reels, you can't, I don't know how you go back and find the first part, or if I find the first, catch the first part, I don't know how to go back and find the second part, which can be really disappointing sometimes. I don't know how to find people that I follow. I have followed people, crochet people. I don't know how to find them. I don't know anything. And honestly, I don't take the time to learn. I'm sure it's not hard. I just don't take the time to do it. I just keep scrolling because I'm really good at that, and it doesn't take any brain power. And that's when I do it, is when I'm tired. I'm like, oh, look, I can just sit here and scroll. So I do have one. And again, I want to learn to do more with that, or practice doing more, like get more involved. But usually when I sit down to do that kind of thing, it's just the brain powerless scrolling. And mind you, I do share a brain cell with a couple of different people. Jan, an Alaskan crafter, she is one of my favorite shares of my brain cell, which I only have one. And a coworker of mine, I share with her sometimes too. So, little tiny brain cells. But that's not what we're here about. I just wanted to throw that out there. So if you're new and you like what you see, hitting like and share and comments and all of those things, you know what to do. And if you're old, thank you for doing all of those things. So let's see. Let's get on to it. One more thing. Two more things just to go over. Roy is doing really, really well. For all of you, thank you so much for your prayers and well wishes and comments and concerns. He's doing really, really good. He graduated home therapy today, and he has to start going out to therapy, which means more crochet time for me because I have to drive him, since it's his driving leg that was, he had the knee replaced on, which is fine with me. He says, maybe, you can just go drop me off and then come back. I'm like, heck no, I'm going to sit there and crochet. Are you kidding me? Gives me a good excuse, right? Don't mind me messing with this hair. It's just, I'm not used to it. And my neck is cold. I need to get my shawl from Moose Mike and Sam. Keep my neck warm. If I get up, I will get that because it's right in the other room. So the other thing, when I was in the last video, I talked about I lost and I could not find my amigurumi book with the stingray in it that I wanted to make for my granddaughter. Found my book. This is the book. This is the Zumagurumi Endangered Animals. And look at this guy on the front. Girl, I guess. The gorillas. Are they not the best looking amigurumis you've ever seen in your life? Look at the facial features. And I'm like, I just really, really love it. And this is why I bought the book, because I wanted to make them. And then I looked at the pattern, and I believe, as I recall, they are made with eyelash yarn or fur or something. I'm like, oh God, no, I'm not doing that. Not in black. No. So if anybody wants to make that for me, that's awesome. Because there's no way. There is no. But they do have video tutorials. So this is really cool. This book came from Amazon. It doesn't really. It says Meteor Books. There's not. I have looked. I have not seen an actual specific author. It does have some really cool patterns in it. It's got the spider. My friend Joe from Joe's Web would love that. There's Laura's Nanook, or Polar Bear, Laura from Mammy's Crochet and Farming, and a penguin for Joanne Barnes, a whale just because. I mean, they're really not for anyone. Amanda Panda, Elaine Brown loves the hummingbirds. I don't know who does a fox. And look at the cockatoo. I want to make that too. But there is a manta ray in here. It's not a stingray, it's a manta ray, but it's big. I have it marked, and so let me show you. See that guy? Now that's a cool looking manta ray, right? And so this is what I wanted to make for my granddaughter number 2. Now, in a worsted weight, which it calls for worsted weight yarn, it is 10.5 inches long when made with the indicated yarn. So I don't know if that's across the wings. I don't know if it's across the wings this way or if it's like this way, but 10.5 inches, or they're saying, she put it in centimeters too, 27 centimeters. I am not doing worsted weight yarn. I am doing blanket yarn. So for the body, I bought this yarn. This is tie-dye, Bernat Blanket tie-dye. I think that would be a really cool looking. I mean, he's got she's got it a solid blue in the book. It's a solid blue with white spots. I'm just doing this tie-dye yarn because I think it'll be really cool looking. And then I have the yarn for the mouth and then white for the underside. And it's all Bernat Baby, or these are Bernat Baby. Yeah, Bernat Baby blanket. And so I purchased these to work with the cow and the unicorn. Let me show you. If you've probably seen them, but so originally I purchased the white, the pink. These were the yarns, and I knew that I could use the whites for these guys and the pinks for these guys, and then I purchased the blue. I thought all three animals in mind when I bought those yarns. And I will get all three. I'm pretty sure all three out of them. I have one plus a little of the white. So I think I should have enough of all of them. So I'm real excited about that. And can't wait to get it started. So that's, I wanted to clear all that up. Now, on to the hashtag. We left with Do I Crochet in Public last time. That was day number 16. Day number 17, Something for Me. Well, several of these next coming up days I'm going to put together. So we're going to hold off on day 17. Day 18 is Crochet Buddies. I do not have anyone in my physical life that comes over to crochet with me, except now my daughter. Once in a while, Amanda comes over and crochets when she needs a break from her own life. She comes over and crochets with me. But that just started recently. Well, she started crocheting during COVID. But she doesn't come over often to crochet, just because she's got a lot on her plate all the time. So I started my channel because I didn't have anyone to crochet with. And so I wanted to crochet with all of you and share all of my crochet with you. So I don't generally get on and crochet while I'm videoing, because remember that I have that one brain cell, and I don't know that I can physically crochet and chat, because I chat with my hands quite a bit and keep track of the paper and move things around, and like I'm going to show you stuff, and I can't do that and crochet at the same time. My one brain cell doesn't stretch that far. So you guys are my crochet buddies, original. And then there's my Zoom sisters. We crochet together. I can chat and crochet. I just can't show stuff in crochet. And so I have done, like when we do Boggy Creek Lives and I'm just sitting in the background, I will crochet during that. But normally when I video, I don't crochet. But I show you everything that I have crocheted, and I show you yarn, and because you're my yarn friends. And so that is day number 18. Day number 19 is favorite pattern. I can't say that I really have a favorite pattern. I have patterns that I've done that I liked, but I generally do not crochet the same thing twice, except for some amigurumis. Because like I've done that, and there's so many other things that I'm like, oh, I want to do this one. I already did that one. And now look, there's this really pretty one I want to do. And I want to do this yarn. And so I cannot, aside from stuffies, think of anything that I've crocheted more than one of. Um, I can't. Uh, uh, no, wait, I did do a shirt for Chloe, and then Amanda wanted one as well. So I did do two of those. And they were made with granny squares. Who would think? So then day number 20 is cozy. I'm not quite sure what that means. Does it mean have you made anything that you feel is cozy? Yeah, I think so. Does it mean where's my cozy, comfy place? Well, that's my comfy couch. If you've been here, you know that I talk about crocheting on my comfy couch, and I do that every day. That is my favorite place to crochet. I have a light right above me. I have a table next to me for all my junk, and Roy does not sit on the couch. Generally, he has a recliner that he sits in, and so I have the whole couch to spread out all my crap. And honestly, I have like a little table here that holds my drink, and then the seats next to me on the couch hold the yarns that I'm working with if it's more than one, and they'll hold my yarn genie, and they'll um, hold, like, if I'm going to work a little bit on this project, but I know I'm going to work on that other project too in an evening. Um, the other project is sitting there waiting for me. I kind of really spread out, so, but it is comfy. And I don't crochet in my yarn room because I don't have a comfortable chair in there, and there's no space for one. The room is it's the smallest room in the house. It's smaller than this room that I am in right now. Not by much, but it is a little bit smaller than this room. And then I have all the walls are brought in a foot by shelving. So what was already a small room is now 4 foot square around smaller. It doesn't hold any comfy chair. I need to be able to move the furniture that's in there to get to the yarn behind it and around it and next to it. And so I, I do video in there once in a while. I do like to video in there. Roy is napping. So since he's been home, I've been videoing here because this is where I keep my whips, and I don't have to take them upstairs then, which is where the yarn room is. And he's sleeping, so I don't want to be in the room next to him, and I'm chatting up, and he's trying to sleep, you know. So this is where I film, but my cozy, comfy couch, that's where I crochet. So let's see. My favorite hook. This is day number 22. I skipped 21. Don't worry, I'll get back to it. Let's see. Wait. What? Oh, my favorite hook is my 6mm. With the brown handle on it. What the heck? Clover. My 6mm clover. I used to call it poop colored because it's dark brown, but really it's chocolate colored. So that is my favorite hook. It is my go-to hook. If I'm using worsted weight yarn, I'm going to that hook first. And I usually tend to work with worsted weight yarn, even though I don't have a lot of worsted weight yarn on the hook right now. I do have one. So let's see. So that is day number 22. And day number 23 is Crochet Workspace, which is we just discussed with my cozy couch, my comfy couch. So then we have let's see, something for me, and Granny Squares is number 24. And let's see, I forgot in here, didn't forget, but I did not do number 21, finished work. So, something for me and Granny Squares go together with, I started when I was in Florida. My good friend Nancy, my sister, purchased some yarn for me for Valentine's Day. And we were going to make, she wanted to make a granny square cardigan. And she was working on that. And so I said, well, I'll make one too. But then we didn't really like work on them all. I made a lot of squares. She was making squares. She had a specific square she was making. And honestly, I don't know if she ever finished it. I kind of lost track of that. So anyway, let me show you. So this is Loops and Threads birthday cake in the party yarn. I think it's party yarn. Let me just double check. Carousel twist. That's what this is called. Carousel twist. I use that. This is Mixed Berry from I Love This Yarn. And then I also am using, this is, I think, called Deep Violet. And this is I Love This Yarn Stonewashed. So she gave me these to make granny squares out of, and I decided they needed to be a sweater. So I have sewn a bunch of squares, and I have put them together to make a cardigan. And this is, yarn down. This is what it looks like. That purple yarn is still attached. I've put them together. It will have sleeves, but so this is the armhole. Oh, yep, that yarn is down on the ground. So as you can see, it is 2 rounds of the white, 2 rounds of the solid, 1 round of the white, 2 rounds of the stonewashed. And I put originally 3 squares down, like from the shoulder down my back, and 3 squares down my front. And then I had to add 2 squares in on the side under my arm to make it so it can be big enough to go around me. And it doesn't quite, which is fine. I knew it wouldn't because I'm going to put like a lapel, you know. And I have to do the arms. Well, when I did the 3 squares, it wasn't long enough, so I added a fourth row. So it's 4 rows down, and it covers my bum. I originally didn't want it. I didn't think I wanted it long enough to cover my bum. But once I put it on for test, tried it on, I'm like, no, it looks funny to not cover my bum. I felt uncomfortable with it not covering my bum, I guess. I don't know that it really looked funny, but I didn't like it. So it's a lot of purple. It's a lot of granny squares. Now, some of my sisters said, oh my God, I would never wear granny squares. I know granny squares are really in style right now. It might be a bit much with the purple, but it is hopefully going to tone down when I take, it's still going to be purple, but hopefully it'll tone down the granny look to it when I add the sleeves. And I'm not sure, I'm debating, do I want the sleeve to like end here, or do I want to, with just, I think I'm going to do for the sleeves, just the granny cluster stitch. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to go around with a single crochet. I did on the bottom, and I have around the collar just a single crochet to like sturdy everything up, finish everything off. And so I'm undetermined. I'm 99% sure that I'm going to granny square or granny stitch this, and then I'll decrease and decrease and decrease until it's not this big and more arm size. And I can't determine if I want to just end it with a single crochet edge like that, so then the whole thing would look like this with this, at the edge, or if I want to do ribbing on it. I'm not 100% sure. I forgot to put in for a pocket, so I'm really mad at myself over that, and I'm not taking it apart to do so. If I really have to have a pocket, I have 2 more granny squares, and I can just sew them right over top. And so I might do that. I might not. I'm not sure. I could just sew it, like single crochet, join it right over another square. You wouldn't even see it. But then it probably wouldn't be in the right spot anyway. So I don't know what I'll do with that. And then I'm not sure if I'm going to do granny stitch or ribbing. I'm thinking ribbing in here. Not 100% sure. I'm probably going to play with it and decide. But I'm pretty sure I'm just going to use the solid gray, the solid purple, and granny stitch the sleeve, and maybe add at the bottom, like just for accent, a couple, like a white row and then another row of purple and then another row of white, and like do something like that to bring these colors into it. So, maybe I would do a row of white, a row of the stone washed, and another row of white, and then back to the purple for a couple rows, and then the edging. I think I might do it like that. And then whatever stitch I decide to do in here, which I need to do in order to make it go around me the rest of the way, I need to add and make it like a collar or something. So I'll probably do that same kind of like 5 rows of 1, 2, 3, like 3 rows. White, stoned, white, and then finish in the solid again. So that's probably what I'm going to do with that. So I do like making granny squares. I've made bags out of granny squares, different sizes, for my granddaughter and her friends. That's something that I've done more than one of, is granny square blankets. I made them for Chloe's friends, and they love them. And then I made matching bags for them, also out of granny squares. They love them. Hold on just one second while I pick up this yarn I dropped. Chloe says they use them all the time. So let me zip this up and get it out of the way. So I got to work on that a little bit. So this is one of the, this is like the bag that I made Chloe. And this is also out of granny squares, as you can see. And I just, this is cotton yarn. I did line it, but I'm not going to show you because I did a terrible job. If you're making a market bag, you should want to try to use some type of cotton. When I made the girls' blankets, they were 100% acrylic. But I used the ombre, Super Safer ombre, different colors. And then I held it together with a white to make it thicker because I wanted it to be bulky and squishy. So when I made their market bags, I used their ombre color and held it together with a white cotton. So the ombre bags matched the blanket, and they still had cotton in it to help keep it from stretching so much. Because if you make a market bag and you use solely acrylic yarn, your handles and everything will stretch to the ground eventually. I learned that when I was a new crocheter. I find that happens a lot. So anyway, that is another way to use granny square. Then also, this is incorporating a finished project and granny squares. You all know Lynn Ann, I think. If you don't know any of these people or anybody that you don't know out of who I've talked about, everybody's going to be listed in the description box below. So please check them out. With Camp Boggy Creek, which will also be listed. That is Nancy from She's Got Yarn Too, Billy the Crafty Floridian, and myself, because of Nancy and her mom, and her mom's women's group. We started 2 years ago. We've done two annual drives now, blanket drives for Camp Boggy Creek. It's a camp for chronically ill children. It's near and dear to my heart, and they send a handmade crocheted or knitted blanket home with each child. It's a memorabilia for them. And we started a blanket drive last year, or the first year we collected 370 blankets. Thank you all. Last year, this past February, we donated, you donated 1,090 blankets. So for 2025, we kind of wanted to double for 2024, and we tripled. but that number is now pretty high. So we're hoping for 2025 in 2025. When we drop them off in 2025, we're hoping to have 2025 blankets. It's not quite double, but it works, right? 2025 and 2025. So anyway, Lynn Ann did a challenge, and then Laura from Amy's Crochet and Farming did an additional challenge of creating granny squares, sending them to Lynn Ann, who would put them together and make Boggy Creek blankets. Well, to say the least, the response was way overwhelming, and Lynn Ann will work on these until the day she dies, unless she had some ghost stitchers. So she sent me home when I was in Florida delivering the blankets. She sent me home with a big box of purple, because purple's my favorite color. And so I put the first one together. This is the first one out of the purple donations. And I sorted them out per Lynn Ann's instruction and advice of her many. I think she made, like, she put together so many. I can't, more than 15. I can't even begin to remember. She put together so many blankets last year. She crocheted some on her own, and then she put together so many like this. But granny squares have the little holes, you know, so I sorted them out by what the number of holes across. And this was all of them except for I think 3 that have 5 holes across. And so that made a perfect joinability. So this is the first one done. And so that is something that I finished. So it's a finished make. And it's all of our makes. So that's kind of awesome. And that will go, that is the first blanket that I've worked on that's completed for Boggy Creek for this year. I have another one started, but not the squares, just, I mean, on my own, that I haven't finished. I haven't touched since I've been to Florida, actually. But here's another. It doesn't have to be a granny square to be a square, you know. I mean, this is called the willow square. Years ago, I used to take all my scraps, and as I had a little scrap, I would put it into a willow square. And this square is the willow square tutorial by Crochet Rocks. So I have about 50 of these. When I started learning to do amigurumis, I quit using my scraps up to make the squares. And my daughter has always said that she wants to arrange the the way they lay out. So when we're together, I never think to have her lay them out and arrange the pattern for them, you know, because they're all different. It's scraps, you know, so it'll be a scrap blanket. I just need to put it together. And so I want to put it together this year for Boggy Creek. I love the willow square, and I would make more of that. I do have the pattern, you know, handwritten down as, you know, as I followed it, but I don't know where it is. It's been so long since I made one. But if I need more to finish the blanket, I easily have scraps now, because I do save my worsted weight. Well, I save all my scraps for amigurumis, actually, because I enjoy very much making amigurumis. So let's see. That's granny squares. That takes us up through, I think, everything I needed to show you, wanted to talk about. And up through day 25, I think. Let me look at my watch. Today is the 22nd. Well, we're 35 minutes in. I think I will end with the granny square whole story there, and then the next video I'll start with day 25, why I crochet. So I'm a couple days in advance, but I got a busy weekend well, at least a busy Saturday. My son is playing hockey. They played yesterday. I don't know how they did. When we left, Roy wanted to get out, and so we did, and we stayed as long as he could stay. Which wasn't the whole game, but I think the game was supposed to be 90 minutes, because they're in some kind of tournament. It's a fundraiser tournament. My son plays in it every year. and we like to go whenever we can go. Normally, he's 40 years old, and he plays on a league. He's been playing on a league ever since he's been 7 years old. He started playing hockey, and just he enjoys it very much, and we love to go watch him play. But normally, because they're old people, the kids get the earlier ice times because they have to get up and go to school in the morning. So his games are usually like when us older people, he's on the old man's team, but I mean, not really. There are guys on his team. There's a guy on his team that's 70 years old on this league, this fundraising team he's on right now. Um, he's 70 years old. I can't believe the guy can still skate. I can barely walk, and I'm 60. No, I can walk. I'm 61. Anyway, he's got some people my age. There's a couple of grandfathers on his team, but then there's some young kids too. Anyway, he has never stopped skating since he was 7 years old, and the men's leagues get the later game time during the normal season stuff. So quite frequently he's starting to play at 10 o'clock at night. Well, Roy gets up at 4:30 in the morning for work, and he plays on Sunday nights. So when Roy gets up for 4:30 at work for work, I get up at 2. So we don't go to those games, so we don't get to see him play very often. So it's really cool that we got to go yesterday, and I think tomorrow he has an early afternoon game. My granddaughter also has a basketball game, but he can't sit there. Their seats designed more for small people because she's 10 years old. Well, she'll be 10 years old tomorrow, and he won't be able to sit there. He can't stretch his leg out. So the hockey team, at least he could get up and walk around, and that walking helps. So anyway, long story. Probably don't care. We're going to try to make some of the hockey game tomorrow. And then is Avery's birthday dinner, so we're going out for her birthday. Jen's, I'm wrapping up the clothes that you made her. They're over here. Jen's, one of my yarny friends, made baby clothes for Avery's doll. And I'm giving them to her from Jen's for her birthday party tomorrow. We bought her, don't tell, we bought her a bike. Her and Auntie, us and Auntie bought her a new bike. And that's supposed to arrive tomorrow. Cross your fingers, it's here before dinner. But we're going out to dinner. So hopefully Roy will be able to handle sitting through the dinner. If not, it's not far away, and we'll just come home and, bring our leftovers and eat them at home. That's fine. That's fine too. Whatever we have to do. So anyway, that is where we're at right now. We will start the rest of the National Crochet Month Challenge from Ola Jo. If I forgot to tell you that, this is Ola Jo's Crochet Challenge. She put it up there. But we will start with that. Why I Crochet will be where we start next time. So thanks for hanging out with me for the last 40 minutes or so. I appreciate it so very much. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.